Imagine gazing up at the sky and spotting a glowing object trailing a long, luminous tail. Pretty amazing, right? That's exactly what happened in September 2023 when Comet Nishimura lit up our skies with a spectacular display. And if you think only high-powered telescopes or professional astronomers can spot these cosmic wonders, think again. The story of Nishimura proves that anyone, yes, even you, can stumble upon a comet. Missed the show last time? Don't worry, we've got some exciting news. Another celestial visitor, Comet Swan 25F, is already making its way toward us. Stick around until the end to find out exactly when you'll be able to catch a glimpse and how you can see it for yourself. From NEOWISE dazzling us in the summer of 2020, to the Christmas comet Leonard in 2021, to the legendary Halley's comet making its 75-year rounds, these icy travelers from the outer solar system occasionally swing close enough for us to see them with the naked eye. When these objects swing into their elongated orbits close to the Sun, the intense heat from our star causes frozen gases and dust on their surfaces to vaporize. This process creates the glowing envelope known as the coma, and often, a tail streaming behind. But how do we actually spot these so-called tail stars? Well, it depends. Most comets are discovered through professional sky surveys. These are typically systematic, automated scans of the night sky that look for celestial bodies, especially those that might pose a threat to Earth. But space probes also play a key role in comet research. For instance, NASA's Stardust mission made history in 2006 by collecting material from Comet Wild 2 and returning it to Earth for analysis. Then in 2014, Comet 67P/Churyumov-Gerasimenko became the first comet to host a lander, thanks to the European Space Agency's Rosetta mission. Still, even with all the high-tech tools at our disposal, from robotic probes to advanced telescopes, tracking these icy time capsules from the early solar system doesn't always require cutting-edge equipment. Sometimes, the right timing and a clear view of the sky are enough. Sometimes, all it takes is an ordinary camera, a bit of luck, and a sharp eye. That was certainly the case on August 12, 2023, when Japanese amateur astronomer Hideo Nishimura made an extraordinary discovery. Using a standard SLR camera to photograph the night sky, he noticed something unusual in one of his shots, a faint point of light that hadn't appeared before. Intrigued, Nishimura reviewed photos he had taken the previous night and realized he had unknowingly captured the same mysterious object earlier. Word of the discovery spread rapidly, and it soon became evident that Nishimura had found a previously unknown comet. At the time, it was located about 10 astronomical units from the Sun, roughly 1.5 billion kilometers away, considering 1 astronomical unit equals the average distance between Earth and the Sun. In the following days, the comet was observed and photographed by astronomers in Japan, the United States, Australia, and Austria, this time with the help of telescopes. Interestingly, the comet had actually been unknowingly captured in earlier images from the Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii and the Palomar Observatory in California. If only we had looked closely enough, it might have been added to our star charts much sooner. The images were actually captured back in January and March. Better late than never. Further analysis of C/2023 P1 Nishimura has confirmed that it's a long-period comet. It follows an extremely elliptical orbit, taking it as far as 110 astronomical units into the distant reaches of the solar system. Because of this, Nishimura only makes an appearance near the Sun roughly once every 435 years. Before its remarkable discovery in 2023, the last time it was this close was all the way back in 1588. Despite our advanced observatories, the comet eluded detection for so long due to the path it traveled, approaching from a direction where the Sun's brightness drowned out everything else in the sky. To understand just how spectacular a comet can appear, we can look back to October 1965, when another cosmic visitor lit up the sky. That comet was so brilliant, it was visible in broad daylight, right beside the Sun. Overall, Comet Seiki blazed an astonishing 60 times brighter than the full moon, earning its place not just as the brightest comet of the 20th century, but as one of the most brilliant comets seen in the past 1,000 years. In contrast, Comet Nishimura offered a more subtle spectacle. It appeared only as a faint point of light, yet was still visible to the naked eye from dark sky locations. As the saying goes, the early bird catches the comet. Those hoping to catch a glimpse of Nishimura had to be up around 5 a.m., scanning the eastern horizon in the constellation Leo. But with binoculars or a telephoto lens, observers could go beyond the faint dot and appreciate the comet's green hue and glowing coma in greater detail. The same held true for Nishimura's distinctive tail of ionized gas and dust, which extended away from the Sun. Speaking of which, the comet reached its closest approach to the Sun, called perihelion, on September 17, 2023. At that moment, it came within just 33.7 million kilometers of our star, traveling inside Mercury's orbit. Even earlier, on September 10, it had passed within 80 million kilometers of Venus. Its nearest approach to Earth happened 2 days later, when it came as close as 125 million kilometers. This proximity made the comet appear especially bright. But as it drew nearer to the Sun, Nishimura vanished from our view, rising and setting with the Sun, completely lost in its glare. It later re-emerged in the western evening sky, though only briefly and low on the horizon during bright twilight, making it difficult to spot. Observatories in the southern hemisphere didn't pick it up again until late November, by which time the comet had already faded significantly in brightness. The most recent observation of the comet took place in May 2024, using the remotely operated eye telescope at Siding Spring Observatory in Australia. By then, however, the comet had already traveled 4.2 astronomical units away from the Sun. This means we'll have to wait a bit longer before we can once again witness this remarkable space traveler with the naked eye. Comet Nishimura will reach its farthest distance from the Sun, its aphelion, in the year 2226, when it will be approximately 16.4 billion kilometers from our star. From there, it will take about another 200 years to make its journey back. Experts estimate its next closest approach to the Sun, known as perihelion, will occur in April 2429. But there's good news. We won't have to wait that long to see another comet. A new celestial visitor is on its way and will soon be visible in the morning sky. While Comet Nishimura was discovered by an amateur astronomer using a reflex camera, this time it was an Australian hobbyist who spotted the newcomer by analyzing data from the Soho Solar Observatory, which is publicly available to all. While primarily focused on observing our parent star, the Swan UV camera can also capture images of comets. When the ice on a comet's surface sublimates, the resulting ionized hydrogen emits ultraviolet light, showing up as a bright spot in Swan's view. At the end of March, Michael Matiazzo noticed such a bright, moving spot in Soho's data. Unable to confirm the comet's exact location on his own, he shared his findings with fellow amateur astronomers. Shortly after, the first ground-based images of the new object were captured, and it was given the provisional name Swan 25F. We put together this video for you in mid-April. Currently, the comet appears as a small green dot in the morning sky just before sunrise. To see it right now, you'll need binoculars or a small telescope, but as Swan 25F continues to brighten, it might soon become visible to the naked eye. Currently, the comet Swan 25F is making its way through the constellation Pegasus, where it is visible near the constellation's brightest star, Alpheratz. This celestial traveler is approaching a significant milestone. On May 1st, it will reach perihelion, the point in its orbit closest to the Sun. According to the latest orbital calculations, Swan 25F will skim past the Sun at an incredibly close distance of just 31 million kilometers, which is roughly one-fifth the distance between the Earth and the Sun. At the same time, the comet will also be at its nearest point to Earth, offering a rare opportunity for observation. However, because of its proximity to the Sun, Swan 25F will appear very low on the horizon, likely making it difficult or even impossible to spot for several days as it gets lost in the sun's glare.